Uh, all right. Hey, I'm a little late. It's first weekend of the month. I just got out of a lug meeting. Suck it up. Welcome to another edition of the Seller Stream. And of course, this week we're going to be talking about that email that we all got from Bricklink about the changes that are coming up that you have to authorize and sign off to with lots and lots of scary sounding language in it. So you got that email, correct, Mr. Fu?
Yes, I did. And I went in straight away and changed it over. It wasn't a big deal. Click a few buttons and it's done.
It's one of those whole the portal that you're doing business transactions on are making a change to how they do their bank transactions. And in order for you to continue using bank transactions with this company, you need to press this button here. The way that the language is written, it's very frustrating to people because it does not really explain what they're going to be doing with those commands. And it's quite possibly because those commands have not yet been written. So they took a very wide berth, which is never a good thing to do when you're talking about holding people's money. So the keywords that people were keying off on were hold, release, refund, and freeze, deduct, stuff like that. And if you were a non-seller, you didn't get it. So if you're a non-seller, I don't know why you're watching the stream. But we'll take you.
Yeah. All viewers are good viewers.
Yeah, all viewers are good viewers, but I don't know why. I'm talking to you, Ralph. I'll read it. So changes to PayPal on-site, action required. Important. If you not have already done so, please switch your current PayPal connection to PayPal for Marketplaces by visiting your store payment settings. Hello, Big B Bricks. Because your seller account is currently set up to receive on-site payments, and this is because of on-site payments. If you want to continue on-site payments, you need to do this. If you want to just throw a link in your invoice that says this is how much you owe, you can continue doing that with off-site payments. It's just you have to make the selection yourself. But all these words that I'm reading sound like banking transactions. The exact same thing you and I have already signed up for over on BrickOwl, which is if I'm missing a part, I can refund directly from BrickOwl for the missing piece, and it just goes to their account. It sounds to be the same way. Let's hope that there's a lot of borrowing from BrickOwl in the new seller tools on Bricklink as far as the very wise choices that Lawrence has made. And hopefully Lawrence's business, comes out for the better as well out of this. We were actually discussing at my lug meeting. Guys, Dave was saying that he was talking with a builder, and for the first time, when he asked how many parts did he have to order off Bricklink for this, the builder, or is it the creator, replied back, "You mean BrickOwl?" So there is a portion of people that did make the transition, that did make the move, that are proud now BrickOwl only users. And a lot of that is due to the I only want a place that sells Lego movement.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And BrickOwl is a much nicer interface, I think, for buyers.
And web users and device users and people that don't think in the way that Bricklink works.
The new school.
Soccer Mom.
I get a lot of those orders.
I get a lot of Soccer Mom. I'm okay with Soccer Mom. Soccer Mom is a friend of mine. All right, we got Ralph, Gator Bricks, Daddy, or Brick Daddy, and that's it. And Xfinity 2-1. Woo, woo, woo.
He's back.
Sell. It's now 1 a.m. and I'm still awake.
Yeah, sounds like my usual evenings.
Yes.
The only interesting thing I picked up this week at a Target was Series 13 sealed fig packs. I was surprised to find them. They're just hanging there with the rest, with the Batman and Ninjago.
Yeah.
And I recognized them right away. I was like, oh, there's a green. So I grabbed them, went and scanned them. They're $5, a little high, but I figure you're not going to get them anymore. So I grabbed them.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the old instruction sheet online and feel them out, what they are, see if it's worth it. And
just pop them bump codes, man. Look at them bump codes.
yep,
Every single time, they'll work. So, over the past few weeks, we've discussed on the show, wouldn't it be nice? You know, wouldn't it be nice if we had a, and I think I found a solution to one of those, wouldn't it be nice if we had a moments? And that is just touching, like I said, it came from a lug meeting, and there happened to be a code monkey there. And I asked said code monkey, hey, do you ever screw around with APIs? And said primate said, yes, I do. And I said, well, if you would ever be interested in checking out the API for Bricklink, Brickowl, Etsy, Amazon, and eBay, and figuring out a way to synchronize the sales on those platforms back to Bricklink or another forum, I'm certain that I could pimp out your application for a monthly subscription and modularize it. And he seems quite interested.
Awesome.
And hopefully we get the one monkey that is typing out Shakespeare and get lucky on the first try.
And I came up with another, it would be nice if, but I think it's going to have to be done on a Bricklink side, is, for example, if you have something that's part of an assembly, have the ability to automatically list it both ways. So if I have the wheel and the wheel holder, I want it listed both ways on the Bricklink site, you know, as the assembly and the separate parts. And then it's smart enough as one or the other sells, it reduces the other inventory.
All right, I can talk with said code monkey about that.
I don't know if you can do that from the outside, but that would be something awesome if Bricklink would do it, because then you would have both listed in your store automatically.
Oh, it would be much easier to do on the outside from internally. So if you just have a program that's monitoring, I've got X number of these, and X number of these turns into this. And if you get, you know, half of this stock depleted, you now can only have half of this stock as well as, you know, and then have it do the math for you, but that would be easier from the outside in.
Because I'm thinking like CMFs. You part them out, and then you also have them listed as the whole thing.
Ooh, that'd be a little bit different. CMFs would be same concept, but CMFs would be CMFs based upon your timing, I'm thinking. Because CMFs would be a more readily sold item than a wheel entire or wheel.
But I'm also thinking like wheelbarrows and the wheel that go with it, and, you know, hand trucks with a barbell wheel, stuff like that.
Somebody in chat mentioned, well, can't you already do that with Brickstock? And yeah, of course, you can list them in both, but what he's referring to is something to monitor them, to take the levels down. So as one sells, take the other one down to that level as well, which is great, perfect. And it would be easiest doing those with the assembly items. Minifigs, though, just because the sale rate is so much higher.
Which is okay.
Anytime you build an application, you want it to sit on top of the actual program and not interfere with it, not be ping happy, not be bandwidth happy. And I would think that you would have to turn up the volume a little bit in order to keep up with sales for CMS. When you remember a few months back when Lawrence made the changes over to Brickowl, where you could not ping as frequently.
Yeah.
I got snagged in that on a regular cycle because I'm a weird store, you know, not in size or in personality, but that there's so many lots. You know, most people don't have that many lots in the store, and that adds to the interactions. It's not just one going out, it's 9,500 things going out and back. So little bit different. Not just listing them, but also tracking them. And we can list things any way we want to. What we're looking for is a solution to constantly track what we've sold and make adjustments to our amounts. And for that, I will pimp out your product. I will sell it to the people. If it works properly and works well, I will recommend it to the people, and you will get a fair monthly allotment, whatever the word is, for your product. The guy I talked to, I said $5. And he seemed very happy because he realized that if you get, for $5, you're not getting a lot. But if he gets 100 different people to do it, that's something.
500 a month, yeah.
That's actually a something. That's a something investment for him to continue doing things, to tweak the system. So
I would pay $5 a month.
That's the type of stuff that I'm trying to wheel and deal with outside people. So
yeah, I'll definitely pay $5 a month for that.
Yeah, I totally would too. I mean, that would have me. I would start selling on eBay. I'd start putting shit on Etsy. I would mail stuff to you for you to put on Amazon.
We can work something out.
Once we get the tool, we'll get there. You know, as I like to say way too much. Once I get really big with that electric guitar.
Horse before the cart. You know?
Yeah.
And I said that backwards on purpose. It's
at some point, I'm going to already realize that I'm already really big, and it's going to crush my spirit. So, what was the other move forward? I discussed the for Philly Brickfest hype, because we're going to include that in this show and the next show next week as well. I did talk to a bunch of folks at Penlug about the food ideas with having food on site by us in the community, and they seemed very on board with that shit. And I picked up a couple more people to help me sort the 9 pounds of minifigure heads that I got to do. So,
as fun as that sounds.
It's an ever-increasing amount, too. Dude keeps coming back to be like, hey, I got a couple more pounds of the good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you know I'm an addict.
Yeah, you're going to have fun with that.
Oh, my God, dude. This is a whole nother range. I've actually started repricing my standards. So, as most people know, for rare items, I put them in the store for a rarer price. If a head has only been printed one time and is on a CMF, that is considered to be a rare element. It was only output in one set. And I put it as the available average because it's the available amount that's left in the world that's been listed. You know what I'm talking about. I have actually gone to listing them as the 6-month average on those elements that I'm getting in such mass bulk quantities, because I feel as though I need to
move them. Yeah,
just to move them, because I mean, what am I going to do with 500 Spooky Girl heads? You know?
Sell them to somebody who's going to wipe them.
There's not that many emo chicks. I mean chicks very respectfully, so I apologize to any ladies out there who may have taken offense to that, found it to be a non-feminist view and me to be a big male swine, whatever. So, sorry, I'm not.
So how are you sorting them? Do you use a 48x48 base plate and just start lining them up?
I feel the best way to sort them is to allow the people who are sorting them for me to do what is the most comfortable for them.
I would use a base plate personally if it were me, just to line them up in rows so they don't fall or roll around, or, you know, attach them to something.
I was just going to hand somebody a solo cup with rum and Coke, and then a solo cup with minifigure heads, and then there'll be a series of cups around the table with like the head glued or stuck to the outside of the cup.
As long as they don't throw the head into the drink, you're all right.
Yeah, if they do, they're eating it. Yeah, it's gonna be like the worm thing. If the minifig head goes in your drink, you got to swallow it whole.
Minifig ice cubes.
Yes.
It's now used.
Yes. Shout out to Brick Model Railroader. I am going to be plying them with liberal amounts of alcohol and during the AFOL hours at Philly, and attempting to get my my exclusive discount for my people when they win on Bricks Out. Plus, I'm pushing Kale. I'm pushing Kale to make the most of his business, because I think Kale is freaking Lego famous, and I keep telling him, like, dude, you're Lego famous and you don't even know it. You know. I like to use lines from movies on them. Like, dude, you're so money. So money, you don't even know it. But shout out to Tony, hooked me up today with polybag that I didn't have.
Nice.
Did you know that your Discovery Centers sell the limited edition release sets that are in stores after they're no longer being sold in stores?
Yep.
Okay.
I spotted a helicarrier a couple months ago at the Discovery Center.
This was $250.
That's a good price for that.
Our Discovery Center has them this weekend at half off. Go
Nice.
check yours.
Well, I know where I'm going tomorrow.
Talking to you, actually.
I got.
Oh, you got one of the Tron sets. Nice.
Yep, I've got 2 actually, and sealed, of course. I think that one I'm going to hang on to for a little while, and then I bought on eBay a controller from a guy who had it way underpriced. It's brand new, sealed.
Nice.
And for whatever reason, he decided to throw this guy in the box with it. Disney CMF.
Best
okay.
to get and sit on, in my opinion.
So it's, yep, I'm hanging on to it.
I'd take a case of Disney figs over a case of German footballers.
In my current store situation, I wouldn't, but I can see where you're coming from.
Because those German footballers are going to retire. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get traded.
Yep.
You know, Minnie and Mickey are never getting divorced. Donald is always going to be an annoying bastard, you know, and jealous of Minnie and the time that he can't spend with Mickey. But, you know, those are iconic figs. I wish I had gotten cases of those instead of the 4 cases of the German footballers to sit on. And I got I also picked up a Bricklink order that I got. I got an order from the one and only Bricks on the Dollar. And, this was the big element that I was chasing after right here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, the fences. Yeah.
Paradisa Pink Duplo fence.
Fun.
Yes. Because to me, it looks like a push bar for a truck.
Only other interesting thing I picked up, which was mentioned in Holland Balling earlier, is these hot dog cart poly bags are 39 cents at Target if you can find them.
Nice.
I got a few at that price because they're doing the Easter 90% off clearance now. So,
wow.
Good time to get Reese's.
Yeah. Good time to go get a whole bunch of chocolate and make your ass fat.
Yep. Sure does taste nice, though.
Yes. And I really want, as long as it's actually milk chocolate and not milk chocolate flavored candy. I read that on some of my kids' stuff, and it did the whole, like, oh, look at that over there in the trash. I'll get you something Hershey.
Local stuff.
Yeah. So what else? What else have you been got going? I mean, coming out of the lug meeting, there's just so much stuff going on, and with Philly, it's sick. Now you're going to be in Philly for one day, correct?
I am coming up on Friday morning.
Okay.
So I'll be there Friday, all day Saturday, and then Sunday I'm going to New York City.
Excellent.
So I got 2 full days, 2 full nights there.
Mm-hmm.
And then off to New York before catching my flight home.
Good.
Sunday's usually pretty quiet anyway.
And you are coming with Lego of your own that you have built too, right?
Potentially.
This is the big news. Phil Fu's making his move into the creatorship as well.
Yeah, I'm going to make an attempt at making a brick head of myself.
Sighead. That's what the lady's calling him, Sighead. And I brought it up at the Pen Lug meeting as well, and tried to inspire the people there to do it. I mean, not like they don't need inspiration. They've got so much on their plate. But, I mean, I'm really trying to wrap my 2 worlds together as much as I possibly can. Like, it's so great. I look forward every single time going to a Pen Lug meeting. It feels so good going there. It feels great to be accepted by the people. I gave Cale the same spiel again today with the thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. And he basically like gave me the look of another SCFU, you know, and Cale would never say that, but like it was a very nice way of saying it too. He just looked at me like, dude, just relax about it. You're totally cool here. So it's nice, man. It's nice. And I actually, after the meeting, sat there and talked shop with all those guys for like way longer than I had expected to. Just basing it upon the same thing as the purpose behind the show. Like, I have been graced by a community that has embraced me and allowed me to take a path that allows me to live my fucking dream. And how can I not give it back? How can I not try to repay the kindness that has been placed upon me? And it is. I mean, I'm choking back right now, but I freaking love Lego, and I'm allowed to do this for a job, and I cannot explain to other people besides you guys. You guys get it. Other people, like people in my family, are just like, so how them sales doing? Because the holidays are over, and I'm just like, great. I'm still keeping my 3 every day. If I get my 3 every day, I'm still maintaining where I was with my old job. And 3 is $300. If I have $300 in sales or more a day, then I feel good as a father and as a breadwinner for what I'm bringing in and returning back to my family. Because in the area we live now, that is all I really need to be able to be successful. I've never looked out to become rich from this. I've never thought to make millions from this. I've just sought to be comfortable. I think that's all anybody can ask for in life without being selfish, is just to be comfortable.
Yep.
I am in negotiations with Jacqueline already. I already let her know that the topic of the stream would be the changes to PayPal on-site. And I believe I'm going to get her reaction right here. So it's verbatim.
The other thing you'll see at Philly Brick Fest is my Sig Fig.
Oh, yeah.
I'm bringing a bunch of these to hand out to people I feel are worthy. And
you're not worthy.
I may throw some in my store too. I hadn't decided yet.
It's honestly, that is a really great way to handle it. I know a lot of people, especially the KFAL, AFALs, and trading community amongst the basically the traders would prefer doing a Sig Fig trade. Sometimes you don't know who the person is that you're trading to, and that was one of the problems that came up in the past. I had posted a picture of Thick and Brick's Sig Fig torso on Instagram, and people immediately tagged him left and right on it, because he's the Sig Fig king for giving them away, and he backed up what I thought was a trend as well, which is Sig Figs are not as popular with people as they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that became because a lot of people started making Sig Figs like I did that looked a lot like me. And it took a lot of parts, especially CMF parts, that are no longer in print. For me, at least one of mine is no longer in print. So the figs started getting crazy expensive. That's why I pulled my kids' Sig Figs out of the store, because my kids' Sig Figs went from when I initially bought them to being $5 each to suddenly being parted out worth $25 each, because it had certain pieces in it that got crazy rare. So the Sig Fig trades have gone down recently as far as popularity. And that's another reason why when I've got this onslaught of CMF parts that are coming into my store that have no stop in sight that I can see, and I'm making leftover right changes to how I feel as though the business practices need to progress with them, I didn't keep the prices the same, because I loved Sig Fig trades with people who I knew, and I want those things to come back.
Yep, as long as the price is reasonable for the parts, which mine are all generic parts.
Right, so, and that was a really and Clutch made that change too when he rolled out his 2.0 Fig. He's like, I can't keep trying to search for angry warrior, angry Celtic warrior face guy. I can't find my hair anywhere, and it got difficult for him. And that was before really the Build-A-Fig table sort of took off. And now that I believe the Build-A-Fig table is being sourced from China, That's not where I'm getting my CMF pieces, by the way, people. Don't even go down that road. We know that conversation.
No Deadpool heads.
No misprinted DPs. I knew going into that one that was going to be, I knew that they were just going to take my money and I was going to get shit. But that was back in the day when I used to go and basically do the exact same thing as other people are doing now, which is the call outs and the identifying people in one community or another that are ne'er-do-wellers. So I used to do that way back in the day with Tattoo Face Guy when Brickmaster Inc. had started up his monthly brick box, and somebody had hinted to us that he didn't put an adult-sized T-shirt into there. He put a child-sized T-shirt for everyone, and he only sent the boxes out to people who he knew were going to be doing an online review, and he frickin' shafted everybody else. So,
good business model.
Yeah, I decided to do a live stream and put the child's medium shirt on the live stream.
So now it's a rag.
Oh, it's a little bit large. It was painful, man. Me putting on a child's medium.
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
And I missed this before, but Xfinity 21. When I say X21, I'm talking about Xfinity 21, not Logan's child. Met some really nice people, all because of the brick. My missus still don't get it, and mine don't either. But she's supportive and she's helpful. And what more can you ask for? In
any business.
Support, yes. Support from your significant other is they don't have to get it as long as they're there for you. And sorry, I was reading CKB's business model. I'm learning about those things now. I'm actually trying to pay attention to that stuff now. I'm at a point where I'm a real business, even though I don't want to admit it and joke about it. I've got to practice. I've got to figure some shit out.
Yep, it's a business and it has to be run as such.
Yep. Another business owner actually had the exact same idea that I did as far as my logo. So that was actually good. That my thought process on that was a wise one. That was actually good to be confirmed today. So what are you famous for over in the UK?
Oh, me? Apparently I'm a legend because I'm going to work out a sig fig trade for them.
Oh, dude, totally. Like, people should pick back up that whole sig fig trade system that they had going on before. Like, that fell apart because of stupid YouTube blunders and drama. Just,
like to help facilitate, I'm happy to like collect the figs from everybody here, send them over, and then they can send the batch over, do one shipment, and it's a lot cheaper to distribute.
You're in a country and you got a bunch of tubers with you. Work it out. Get together. Be like, I'm going to be the central collection point. Send me your figs. We work out the deals. They go over, and then it disperses from there. There's systems. There's ways. And let's see. I brought up the Pick-a-Brick trade.
Yep.
At the meeting today, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's a really good idea. Like, we should do that." I'm like, "Well, you guys should watch the show and listen to all these crazy fucking ideas I come up with." And I'm not gonna run with them. I'm the idea guy. I come up with crazy ideas. You guys run with them.
Yeah, I'm working on an idea for the Pick-a-Brick trade too.
Yeah. The Pick-a-Brick one is good, but I'm hoping, because I can't trade, that there's a caveat on there for the here's my money. Can you go buy this?
Yeah, I'm sure if you make it worth their while.
Yeah, I mean,
it's time and gas money. That's kind of what I'm.
It is, and
they're far.
There are people out there already advertising that they're willing to go buy off Pick-a-Brick walls for other people.
Yep.
So if you find one of those people, just shoot me a message. I'll help make it worth your while.
Yep, I'm more than happy. It'd be nice to get some overseas Pick-a-Brick trade, but that's going to get expensive with the weight. It'd have to be a lot.
I've already started doing the math for what it costs for 4 plane tickets to Germany, hotel accommodations, and everything else.
Well, I could actually pull off a same-day turn in Germany if I had to, but
Germany is a. If I went to Germany, dude, I would be going to Germany with the $10,000 allotment. I mean, we joked about it last night on the Saturday stream. Great show, by the way. If you guys have not seen the Saturday stream from last night, it was a great stream. We talked freaking absolutely zero about Lego, and all anybody did was just chat it up and talk with each other like we were human beings and not brickslingers or bricklayers. So it was interesting. I think people were just so done with Lego for the moment because of all of the preparation for Philly that they just needed a little break from Lego with their Lego friends, and it was nice. So, it was also all about cougars. The ladies came out and basically were pointing at the tall trees they wanted to climb up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see people be people and not be, machines. Try to make that stuff happen again. The next Saturday stream, of course, over on Hoosiers channel, and then we'll be going live with all kinds of crazy stuff when we're in Philly. What kind of stuff are you bringing to Philly for the yard sale?
Well, I'm definitely bringing some poly bags.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, again, I'm operating off a 46-liter bag, so I can only get so much in there. I'm doing poly bags. I got a few kind of mushed box brick heads. They're not really worth parting out, onesie twosies. I'm just going to see if I can make $1 or $2 on them.
Yeah.
And my sig figs, of course. And let's see, what else am I bringing? I might be able to bring a few Statue of Liberties for people interested in those.
Not the set. The smaller lady. Yeah.
The magnet.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, this fig is not glued. None of this is glued. You can take it apart and use all the parts separately for whatever you want. And those sold well last year. I brought those to Philly Brick Fest last year, and they went very fast. I only had like 4 or 5 of them, and they sold pretty much instantly. That one and the New York base, I call it a New York baseball one as well, which I have.
I love New York. Apple New York.
Yeah, he's more or less like a ball player.
Yeah,
just New York with an apple as the O. This is.
God, I wish they would start doing half sleeves.
That'd be great.
I want baseball sleeves. I want baseball jersey sleeves on some of those figs. I still love that shirt from the 80s.
And so those I can get as well. I have plenty of those I'll be bringing. Again, it all fits well in my suitcase, nice and small.
Yeah. Tony, Tony, bring one of your sig figs with you to Philly, man, and we'll do a trade. I know you. I like to do trades with people who I know.
Yep, and I'll be bringing plenty. I'm bringing all I have, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 that I can put together. And I'm happy to trade with people who want to trade. I actually owe a couple of people from last year, so I have to get them done first. But
but now the yard sale is just on Saturday, correct?
Yeah, Saturday night, I believe it's 7 p.m. is what they said over in Holland Ballin.
Okay.
And it's going to be a madhouse, but it's always good.
Gator Bricks is asking anybody from Florida in the chat. I was curious if GF Lug was defunct. I just never see the updates on their page. There's been, my understanding is a lot of changes in the lug system. I have an ambassador that handles all that shit, and he just tells me that we're good. So, and I did let him know that I would be recruiting at Philly. So I am transitioning my role as I was the former head cheerleader and recruiter for Tube Lug. Obviously, Tube Lug is completely defunct now. And I am 100%, if not more, happy with Penlug and the people that are there. So I know that there are some Pennsylvania people that are not part of a lug that are going to Philly that are part of our YouTube community, and I'm going to purposely try to sell them on Penlug. So be prepared if you're there and you see me, and I hand you a glass of rum and Coke and say, "Have I talked to you yet about Penlug?"
My lug just merged with another one here near Atlanta.
That's good. That's good. It's a way to
enough.
stay alive with the new changes. I mean, you need 20 solid people, I think, just to float, right?
Yep, and they've definitely got the numbers now. And the guy who's kind of running it, he actually finally got some of the lugs builds in the Lego stores locally here. So they're famously known for their moon base, which I don't know if you've seen any photos of it online, but they made mini version of it for the Lego stores, and they're both here have it now. So it's kind of cool to have your lugs builds in the local Lego store, just something that's not a normal set.
Yeah. C-Lug used to do that. I don't know if Penlug does that or not. We're pretty located, or it's not just a city, it's a state, so it's a little bit more difficult. And I think I'm looking here in the chat, and I think we have our first volunteer to work with the Pick a Brick Exchange. And I will talk to him at Philly as well. Tony is a friend of mine from Penlug. He's looking for ways to augment his income. So
great.
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Penlug? I'm glad somebody got what I was trying to say. Can I get a Penlug witness, yo?
Maybe two.
Yeah, I mean those guys were. I can't believe I sat there for 3 hours after the meeting today, just chatting with those guys and talking about seller stuff and trying to be like, look, if you guys need help, like, I want to help. I mean, this is the way I do things. This is the way I think about things. This is the way I approach things. You know, I don't look to sell out of something. I look to find out how many I need to have in order to make the next sale on top of that. You know, do I need to get more into the store? How come these pieces are sitting right here? I never hate a piece. Don't ever hate a piece. It is not that piece's fault. They did nothing wrong. They're a child. No, it's your fault because you either don't have enough or you don't have the piece that it should be paired with in your store, or another piece that it should be paired with, or whatever. You know, it's all about presenting the pieces to the people. It's not about the people having to come to you. They have a plethora of choices all over the internet on a million different forums, on a million different portals. There needs to be a reason why people are drawn to you and are coming to you to make those sales. And sometimes it's price. Sometimes it's quantity. Sometimes it's absolutely nothing within your control, and it's just how they feel. But I've found that pairing pieces with other pieces and realizing their potential for sale once those pieces are gathered together in a certain quantity within the stores makes things work. You know, I still have yet to figure out how the hell to sell that insectoid leg that came with Galaxy Quest or Galaxy Squad. But
oh yeah.
I'll figure it out. I mean, I got a big 7-pound sack of them. Well, I mean, years ago, Bricks for Chris like posted this picture, which he talks so much shit for. Of he cleared out a TRU. He had like 3 shopping carts. This is back in the day when Clutch was getting everybody into the swoop movement. He had like 3 full shopping carts that he was pushing out of the store, all filled up with the Galaxy Squad. They'd been sitting there for forever. Nobody wants the damn things. They like them now. But people didn't like them back then. So, and he posted that. I had no knowledge that sale was going on at all. No idea. I left work an hour and a half early, raced down to my local TRU, and cleared the shelves of them. Unfortunately, I didn't get as much of a grand mix of sets as he did. He got a lot of the good sets, and I got a big shopping cart full of the really shitty one. But it still worked out. You know, still a great price on a set.
Hashtag Toys Were Us.
Hey, Toys Were Us. That's right. You coined that one. I've just been using the shit out of it.
And I want you to use it. It's my coupon code now. It's
okay. So I'm saying this specifically because Kale is in the audience, and I want him to understand this as much as possible. The Vikings Plunder says Penlug always has great layouts, and I have told them repeatedly, I'm like, you guys are freaking Lego famous, and you don't even know it. You know, it's not just Kale with his trains, but Penlug itself has such a huge draw, such an enormous draw, and yep. I appreciated that they've sort of. He didn't approve anything. I'm lying right now. that they have allowed me to step out and become a cheerleader like that.
I went last year to Philly Brick Fest. The only layout I really remember and have a photographic memory is Pinlug.
How do you forget that train layout?
Yeah, it's great. That train layout was great. And, the other one I remember really well was the one I was sitting next to and had to look at all day. But those are the two that really jump out at me. Not that any other ones there weren't good. They weren't as memorable as Pinlug. So you could tell they put a lot of time and pieces into that build. And I could imagine how long it must have taken to set up and tear down. Yeah. And how many people.
Like Vikings Blunder points out, tires sell great if you have enough. Absolutely True. Correct. Yep. 100% correct. When I got into the game, I hated my tires. They weighed more than other pieces. It made the buyers pay more in shipping. Made me think as though, I felt as though I was charging them too much because those tires were so damn heavy, and they never sold. Ever, ever, ever. And then all of a sudden, I'd get a shitload of them in the store because I parted out some city set that had like 3 vehicles in it, and they'd sell. And that's when I sort of realized, like, even the elements, because I used to actually hate elements back then. I used to yell at them, and I used to scold them and ground them and all that stuff. And I realized it was just abusive elements. It's akin to child abuse. And I'm just ashamed of myself back then.
Put them in the bottom drawer.
Get down there. No light for you.
We're putting you under the jail.
We're gonna be in the lights. No, but they sold, and I started looking at some other pieces. And listening to other sellers, and of course listening to Clutch back then and now, of course, because he has always good information about when things sell, and and him always talking about doing lots of 10, try to do a 10, try to do it this, and because people are looking for that. I don't think people are really looking for 10s. I just think that sometimes they're looking for more than what I have, and that's what the stopping point is. What is this with the mini tires are evil? No, they're not. Don't hate parts. Parts are good. Parts help creators create.
Send me your evil tires, Xfinity.
Yeah, send me all your evil tires.
I'll give you a sig fig for it. Yeah. Fair trade.
I let you know about that one tire that I've had so much success for, just to hope that other people can take advantage of that as well. And you were able to.
Yep, it worked. I actually found it on my wall, cleaned it out.
Yeah. I'm not going to say what it is here, but when you tell people, they're like, what? No. Why? And like, I don't know. I have no idea what this dude's doing with 5,000 of these tires at one time.
And I don't
without buying rims for them. No clue.
He probably has cases of rims.
Yeah, I mean, but that was the big element that I sold, was it 2 weeks ago? I finally sold all the rims. When I bought 1 case of rims and 1 case of tires, I was like, I'm going to be good for a while. $20 a piece. How can you say no to a case? I listed the case of tires and it sold in 5 minutes. I went back to the store and bought 2 more. They sold as well. The store no longer had tires. And then I was stuck with an entire case of rims, and there's twice as many rims as there are tires per case, and I didn't think they would ever really sell out.
But eventually.
Yeah, that guy finally needed rims. Or somebody did.
That's great. My bulk on eBay is finally starting to pick up. So selling 100 of this, 100 of that.
Yeah.
I've actually got some sales this week. In fact, I got one right here that's packed up, ready to go.
So you're taking the dock method and going full tilt with it.
Yeah. Does anything I have a ton of? I was like, I'm starting there, going by quantity. So I sort my entire inventory by quantity, and whatever has the most gets listed first, and then run down the line. Same with figs. Go sorting my price on the fig, then looking up on eBay and listing that. I sold 5 dog shanks this week, which I've never sold one on Bricklink, not one.
Dog shanks? You mean that fig from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Ninjago.
Ninjago?
He's a really big guy, looks like a Hulk, and he's supposed to be holding a big anchor.
That's a she.
It's a she. Well,
a she.
Anyway, I sold all of them but one on eBay for more than what Bricklink sells them for. Oh, and I never sold one on Bricklink, and I was going 6-month average.
Then it behooves me to feed the code monkey.
Yep.
Yes. I think that's what I I want more than anything else to find tools to help me do things, but at the same time lift up people that I know that are into this as well and help them live their dream. You know.
Yeah, to answer Viking Splender's question, do any stores sell PAB boxes anymore? Mine doesn't. I said, well, that depends.
It's seasonal.
It's seasonal, and it's also, I've had stores say, well, I can't sell you the case, but we can put them all into cups and I'll sell them to you. You know, however many cups it fills, that's what it'll cost. Yeah. And it's usually less than the 100, which is silly, but yeah, I've done that. So it just depends. And yeah, it's seasonal. They'll eventually have what they call pick a brick clearance unannounced. They'll have a base plate with all the parts on it.
Follow your local lug for when that happens. That's why you should join these things. And not only that, but also to support your own creative and building community. I mean, you're a store. Let's put perfectly honest, a lot of people who are Lego lovers see you as a leech. They do not like you. And, you know, that's just life.
Yep. Nobody likes everybody.
Yeah. Nobody likes everybody except for me.
But yes, they do sell the cases occasionally and usually discounted when they're trying to move it.
And if it's a really crappy piece, that's when you can talk them into doing 20 instead of 40. Or if you say, well, I'm going to buy 20 cases.
Yep. And I know the managers now at both stores. And when I come in, they'll say, hey, we got this thing in the back. You interested in it? And it's usually something old or pick-a-brick cases they still haven't got rid of that they can still sell under that agreement. Sometimes I want it, sometimes I don't. But at least they're offering it to me without me prompting. They just now automatically know when I come in. They just tell me, here's what we have.
Yeah, that's good. I had a really great reputation with the manager of the Lego store back in Seattle before we moved. And that was me not having that access to that store probably hurt and helped, but I miss it, you know, because he knew I was a store owner. He knew I was a seller. I never mentioned it. I always made it a point of being respectful. I would try to go into other stores when I was going to pull a full swoop on something instead of my local store that I went to with my kids. And he caught wind of it because he started watching my videos. And it worked out really well for me. You know, he was very, very nice. Dave was awesome. Great guy. Shout out to Lego Store, South Center, Washington. I miss you guys.
Yep. I don't know if they'll ever watch it, but shout out to North Point and Sugarloaf Mills here in Atlanta. Particularly James and Linda. Good people. Yeah, there's folks from that Lego store that are following me on Instagram, not because they like the pieces that I post, but because they occasionally get to see the photos of my kids. Like that right there. That is one of the reasons. That sounds really creepy, but that is one of the reasons why I love Lego so much, because of the culture of it and the culture that they inspire with their employees. You know. Yep. Pro tip: if you're doing lots of pick-a-brick, you don't have to buy the cup. They can bring a bag for you, and they'll charge you 50 cents less.
Yeah, and do not write the name of your store on the side of the cup.
Yeah, that's the
mistake that I made.
Yeah, don't do that.
I started filling up cups, and this guy was like, "Who's Big B Bricks?" And I was like, "Me. I'm Big B." And he said, "Why does it say Big B Bricks?" I'm like, "Because they're my bricks." Too Humble says that the Sugarloaf Mills is their store.
Oh, another Atlanta local.
They're going to key your car and pop your tires next time I see them out there.
Good thing they don't know what my car is.
Yeah.
Rundle Mills. I've been to that one too. It's near Baltimore.
Now, do you have a passport?
Yes.
Do you stamp it? Do you try to fill it in?
Oh, no.
Why not?
I keep forgetting it. It's somewhere. I don't even know where it is.
I try to do it as well. I'm honestly jealous that people like Entalk have done so well at it and are so into it. Like she did a PBF 2 years ago. I think she did like a 5, 10, 15 Lego store tour on her way up to Philly.
Nice.
So, and I couldn't do that. I wouldn't have room in my pickup if I did that.
You make multiple trips home. Order FedEx.
Driving home like this with like a slush of pick-a-brick next to me, like as I'm taking the cups and pouring them out and throwing the empty pick-a-brick into a recycling dumpster to be, whatever.
When you first said passport, I was thinking,
yeah, the Lego passport.
This is a real passport.
Right. Right. But there's the.
But I know what you mean. Yeah, you get stamped at the stores. Yeah.
I got my regular passport here, or at least my old one.
Yep, the hole puncher. He says canceled.
I had 2 passports at one time.
Yep, you can do that. Yeah. Oh, and Talk says she's got 27 different store stamps now. That's pretty good.
You suck. I hate you.
If I had all the ones I've been to stamped, I might have 12.
Right, because you've been to so many stores. I mean, you must be like, hey, I'm going to this store over here and stuff like that. I just figured you'd have more than 12.
A lot of repeat visits, like New York. And as I go places, I always try to look if there's a Lego store there. Ooh, Orlando, that reminds me, I do need to get down to Disney Springs. That's a good one.
It is and it isn't.
It's so cheap to fly there from here.
So one thing I do know, though, is that the Disney Springs store is one of the stores that is allowed to sell the limited edition sets that you get as freebies after the promotion has ended.
And some other stores get to do it, too.
Some of them will do it, but most will not. And don't be a douche at your store trying to push them to do that. Just ask them if they do. Don't be like, well, this guy over here does that, so why don't you?
Yeah, no.
Just take your blows. If you're lucky, you're lucky. Use honey, not vinegar. Like,
don't cut your own leg off.
Yeah.
I know Disney Springs at one point had the trans dark blue studs for a little while. I'm sure they're gone now, but
trans dark dark blue do not do as well as trans light blue.
Yeah, but I would have still taken 3 or 4 cups.
For those that do not know, movie studios utilize Lego as part of their sets when they're doing CGI work for landscapes, because there's a fairly consistent color out of it, and it's a pleasant color, and it's something that it's modular enough that they can build something behind it and then CGI over it. And one of the big items that they go after is trans light blue studs.
So we need to find 10 cases of.
I have had 25,000 at a time go to Studio City Hollywood.
Nice. Interesting the uses you get.
I'm just happy they buy it. They're going to use it however they want. Federal law. I got no control over what they do with it once I sell it to them. Is there any states that don't have a Lego store? Yes. The majority.
Yeah.
The Lego stores, if you look at a map, it's just like the population. It's lining the coasts.
For the most part, yeah.
I think there's like 4 or 5 Lego stores throughout Middle America, and they all just have to share it.
Yep. There's not a ton, but they're major cities for sure, for the most part. Like Minneapolis has one.
Yeah, they've got Mall of America, of course.
Yep.
I think that Mall of America might have 2 of them.
And they've got, I think Indianapolis has one. Hoosier would know.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Well, Birmingham's technically Middle America, Alabama.
Kansas.
Texas.
Well, no, I'm not sure. KC Metro put in that Kansas. I'm not sure if they're saying Kansas doesn't have one or Kansas does have one. No, I don't think there's anything in Wyoming besides wind. KC has one. But is it KC Kansas or KC Missouri? I think it's Missouri.
Missouri.
Apparently
that's how it's said.
North Carolina, once again, a coastal state, if you guys forget, being one of the original colonies.
North Carolina. I've been to Raleigh. I went to that one.
Yeah. They got a few different places. They're expanding.
There's one near Philly Brickfest. It's going to be picked clean.
There is. And, so we found out last night on a Saturday stream that Hoosier has the exact same plan for this year as he did last year, which is pulling into Philadelphia a day before everybody else and swooping the entire Discovery Center. So if you can't find any LGB tiles in all of Pennsylvania, blame Hoosier.
And then buy them from me.
Not me. Yeah.
I've got a shoebox full.
They're a good item to have. I'm still waiting for those 1x2s though, man. 1x2 LBG tiles. They're coming.
I haven't checked, but I do have an upcoming international trip to Mexico City. I'll be curious if they have one there.
They don't, but they do have a factory.
I wonder if that factory is like Germany.
I don't know. Bones had done some work down in Mexico City in the past, and I had asked him just if he knew anybody, if he could take a factory tour, check it out. He was interested. He wanted to do that anyways. Then I was like, check the black market while you're there, man. If you're walking around and see Lego on the streets, ask for me. Didn't find any. But now, of course, Bones is gone again from Instagram and he's deleted his account again. Everybody's deleting their accounts nowadays off Instagram.
Yep. The whole Facebook backlash.
Well, I don't know which Facebook is the one from last night that we were talking about, or is there another one? It's freaking. All right, I'm gonna end the show on this. All right, do your spiel.
All right. Well, as you heard before, hashtag Toys for Us is the new coupon code on Brick Owl. Use that for a discount on your order. No minimums. And I'll see you guys at Philly Brick Fest. For those who are coming along, I have sig figs, so bring some to trade if you have one. And come see me. I will be hanging out with either the Holland Ballin crew or Big B. Depends on the time of day.
All right. I'll be at Philly. I'll be hanging out with everybody. I want to make friends with a tons of people. And I want to especially play meet and greet with the custom printing people who are going to be there, or the custom making people, or the custom cool shit people, because I want to get more parts and pieces to be able to throw on the Bricks Out game. I want to get parts and pieces that I can throw into every order and pimp out other people's shit and help other people's dreams come true as well. Because, like I said, I've got an entire community that has helped me realize my dream and helped me live my dream. And I am very thankful of that. I love taking my kids to school every day and being able to pick them up every day. And I owe that to Lego. And the point I'm closing on, outside of the don't forget to go support your Lego developers and make sure you purchase Brickstock, and if you're using BrickSync to do your dealings, you made money off them, go pay the piper. Even if you don't have that many pieces in your store, if you do not pay for the software you use, and God, I used to be such a huge fucking software pirate when I was younger, and I realize now that it's sort of like your independent record store, that you can screw over the big guys and don't worry about it, but pay the small guy because he's in this exact same boat as you trying to make it. Go buy your license for BrickSync. Go buy your license for Brickstock. Even if we can talk Bricklink into buying Brickstock, this dude still kept it up and running and kept the lights on for a number of years, and it has helped you put peanut butter between your two slices of bread as well. But with regards to all this Lego drama that has been going down recently, first of all, I apologize to all of those that were shysted by the shyster. I didn't know about any of them except for one, and on the one, it was more of just a, oh my God, just STFU and stop yelling at people on little Timmy who's 8-year-old's photos, because there was leakage from an arguments that would just spilling over everywhere. And I was just like, just stop, figure it out, shake hands, make up, give each other a reach around. But now I want to remind everybody, as the drama builds up and everything else, and as Philly approaches, and there is even talks of retribution, if it would be, in Philly. I don't want to see that. I do want to see that. I don't want to see that. But don't forget, this is a fucking kid's toy. And the moment that you forget that this is a child's toy, you have lost everything. You know, this is not your toy. This is designed as a child's toy. Love it and let it continue to transition you back to your youth. Let the drama go. And I'll get some of that popcorn from you, Tony.
Well said.